There are people, probably within a few miles of this building, that would love to be able to get out of a bed in the morning. That would be a great day for them, just to be able to physically get out of a bed. There are people in this world that would love to have a bed, that have never slept in a bed, wouldn't know a pillow if you showed it to them. There are people in this world that if you turned a tap and water came out, it would be a miracle. Much less hot water. So many little things that over a period of time we just kind of take for granted, we've lost our gratefulness for, and they kind of disappear from our lives. So what if I took those moments to cultivate this intentional gratitude? This is choice-driven, and it's very easily done. You just make your conscious choice to say, I'm going to be in a spirit of gratefulness today. And you'll be amazed at the things you see anywhere and everywhere to be grateful for. Picking up your car keys, you realize there are people that don't have a car. Getting in a car that starts. Suddenly getting stuck in a traffic jam becomes a blessing because you got a car to get stuck in. There are people that would love to get stuck in a traffic jam. Would love it. So many things. And I truly believe one of the first things that leads a relationship that starts taking it down the wrong road is what? Gratitude. Things that we were so easily grateful for in the beginning suddenly just become an expectation. A sense of entitlement. I remember I was giving a talk down in Charlotte a number of years ago, and we were talking about that aspect. And a lady came up afterwards, and she was sharing with me that when she first got married, the last Friday of every month, she made a homemade apple pie for her husband. And she said, I literally looked forward to it. It was homemade. I made it from scratch. She said, I would get all the ingredients. And so this went on for a considerable period of time. She had a heavy workload condition one week, and she just didn't have time to get to it. It was supposed to be the week the pie was made. She couldn't make the pie, and he was upset. She said, all the joy went away. All the joy went away. And she said, eventually, so did the pie. Not surprising, is it? Little things that we start taking for granted that could stay alive forever with just one intentional thought of gratitude expressed. I want to show you a video clip. Everyone here is, I'm sure, has seen The Secret, and this is the part of The Secret that talks about gratitude. So let's revisit that if we could.
Everybody goes through times when they say, oh man, things aren't working right, or things are going bad. And there were some things going on in my family, and I found a rock. I was just sitting here holding this rock. You might see me carrying around. I found a rock. I stuck it in my pocket. And I said, you know what? Every time I touch this rock, I'm going to think of something that I'm grateful for. And so every morning when I get up in the morning, I pick it up off the dresser, I put it in my pocket, and I go through the things that I'm grateful for. At night, what do? You empty your pocket. And there it is again. And I've had some different experiences with that. I've had some amazing experiences. I had a guy from South Africa, and every time he saw me drop, he said, what is that?
Well, what's that?
I explained it to him, so he started calling it a gratitude rock.
Gratitude rock.
2 weeks later, I got an email from him, from South Africa. And he said, my son is dying from a rare disease. It's a type of hepatitis. He said, would you send me 3 gratitude rocks? No, they're just rocks I found off the street, So I said, sure. I had to make sure that the rocks were very special. And so I went out to the stream, looked, picked out the right rocks, and sent them off to him. 4 or 5 months later, I get an email from him. He said, my son's better. He's doing terrific. And he said, but you need to know something. He says, we've sold over 1,000 rocks at $10 a piece as gratitude rocks, and we've raised all this money for charity. Thank you very much. And so it's very important to be in an attitude of gratitude, isn't it?
Sometimes just a little visual reminder is enough. There's a treasure chest up here, and after the service, there's some gratitude stones in there. I'd like you to feel free to help yourself if you would like one. I did not go down to the creek. I went to Walmart, actually, but the intention that drives the miracle, right? Absolutely. Absolutely. What if we started waking up grateful, instead of waking up to all of our problems, we start waking up to possibilities. Endless possibilities of what this day could hold. Opportunities to make a difference, as you were saying. Opportunities to grow and to learn and to explore. All open up for us. There's a fellow by the name of W. Clement Stone. Jack Canfield, who most of you might be familiar with, the creator of Chicken Soup for the Soul. He worked for W. Clement Stone. It was his first job out of college. And W. Clement Stone, this amazing, amazing man, taught him so much. But he said one of the things that W. Clement Stone would do, no matter what you said with him or no matter what was shared in a meeting, his response was always, "That's good." To everything. He said the man could fall down a flight of steps, get up and say, "That's good." They said we used to refer to him as the inverse paranoid. He believed that the world was conspiring to doing good. Conspiring to doing good. Now he said we got together, a bunch of us that used to work with W long after he passed away. We were sharing stories about W. Clement. And he said we could not come up with one example of anything that happened to that man that didn't turn out golden. Not one thing could we think of. And he said he did have challenges in his life, but none of them turned out poorly. They all held gold for W. Clement Stone because he cultivated an intentional attitude of gratitude. I'm going to be grateful for everything, and that's going to take us to our last part. If I can go from random gratitude to intentional gratitude, now maybe I can take a leap into something called radical gratitude. And radical gratitude is faith-driven. It's not event-driven. It's not choice-driven. It is just pure faith-driven. You can look in the face of something and not come up with one logical reason what's good about it and honestly say from your heart, "Thank you." And that's when the miracles begin. That's when they begin. That's when judgment ceases. Because you just come to a place where you know that beyond appearance, the illusion of appearance is divine perfection, always. No exceptions. What if we were dwelling and living in absolute divine perfection and it was around us and in us and through us 24/7, and all we had to do was access it by saying thank you. I believe with every fiber of my being that is the absolute truth. But the minute I judge, the minute I label, the minute I push back, the minute I resist in any way, shape, or form, the perfection's still there, but I don't get to experience it. But it's there. It's absolutely there. And even in moments when things look bleak, especially in those moments, see only perfection, express only gratefulness. Wow. And the rest of that says, in this formula is found tranquility. In this purpose is found peace. In this awareness is found joy. You want tranquility, peace, joy? Anybody want to sign up for that? There's the formula. Could it be any simpler? Now, I didn't tell you it was easy. I said it was simple. There's this movie called 28 Days with Sandra Bullock where she's in rehab and her counselor's telling her, you just need to do this and everything's going to be fine. She says, you're telling me it's that simple. He said, I didn't say it was simple. I didn't say it was easy. She said, you're telling me it was that easy. He said, no, I didn't say it was easy. I said it was simple. We don't do the simple because it's not easy to do. Because it's easier to complain. It's easier to be a victim. It's easier to judge. It's easier to moan. That's the easy thing to do. But man, what if I could consciously choose and cultivate a radical sense of gratitude, where my immediate response to anything and everything was, Yes. Thank you.